There we go, the stream info is updated, so I guess I'm officially streaming now. I'll just be doing some janitory things, sort of making sure I can see your chats. And that kind of stuff, and then we'll get started. Gotta make sure some people are actually able to join as well. Good if someone is watching when I'm getting started. I have a few people showing up, so that's good. Sorry if I'm going to be coughing a fair bit today. Just something in my throat. Doesn't seem to be anything serious though. Right, so Twitch tells me that the streaming is... Oh, yeah, probably put the microphone on you. Hey DCH. Hey Trädfursten. Okay, that will probably be improving the audio. Yeah, if you have your microphone on the table and it's one of those you should clip to your collar, do clip it to your collar, it helps. All right, I think we're ready to get started. Right, I need to send out a tweet that I'm up and running as well. Never trust people to remember things. At least not masses of things. Yeah, Marcel, don't worry about it. Enjoy lunch. Thanks for dropping by. We are live, building a stream overlay with LiveView. Gotta use the announcer voice. Okay. Tweet sent, should be good to go. All right. So the idea here, no Docker, I do not want to install an update right now. Thank you. I woke the Docker. I poked him to remove some images because I actually want space for the VOD this time. So, okay, my thinking here is that we are going to be building a overlay with LiveView, and to prep for that, so a stream overlay, if I want to sort of put a border around where I'm sitting here in this little box I'm in, an overlay would let me do that. You essentially put a website on top of your video, and you can do whatever you want with that website. So you can put a bunch of images there as well if you like, but yeah, a web application is a fun thing to put there because you get a lot of novel possibilities. So I'm using OBS Studio, and that allows you to just smack a browser source right on top of your thing. And to prep, I have actually created a small application, which is what you're looking at part of right now, which it's just a Phoenix gen, so the Phoenix generator, an automatic LiveView project. Plus I added this little module, which uses the file system dependency that's already included with the Phoenix dev server stuff. But it allows you to watch a directory of files and react to it. And then I implemented a small overlay get file stats thing. So this is a gen server. It receives events from the file system watcher, and it produces and broadcasts events on a topic via Phoenix PubSub. The overlay get file stats thing, what that does is it runs git diff numstat head. So it essentially we can run that. Let's see, git diff numstat head. So okay, right now I don't have any changes. So if I remove this log line, run this again, I have 0 additions and 1 removal in lib/overlay.ex. So that's some data. And I want to try to integrate that into your viewing experience so that you can see how much stuff we've done over our time together. But first of all, let's make sure we can actually see the overlay that we are working on. And to do that, I'm just going to switch it on because I prepared adding the source. So this is a default Phoenix framework thing. As you can see, the background is transparent. And that helps a lot. It means we only have to deal with what we can work additively and just put in whatever we want. So, oh, my mouse just beach balled. This is going to be fun. I wonder why though. All right, it's back. So I don't think I want any of this, but just to verify that things actually live update, let's say welcome to my, and I save, and it goes welcome to my Phoenix. So you will see what I'm changing as I'm changing it. And let's just rip everything out of this entire file. Boop. And then we can see that there's the header is not in this file. So let's go visit, I'm thinking live. That only has these things. Well, I don't want any of those either. So let's do div. Well, it can be a main, it's just that I don't want any additional stuff on it. All right. Let me know if there's any issues with audio, and let me know if you have any questions as I go, because I'm just going to do the thing and you only get to complain if you actually talk to me. So removing this section. And now we're basically back to where there's nothing to see here, which is both good and bad. All right, let's do some. Okay, so let's see. We could probably get the stats in real nice and quick. So let's go into page live. Oh, hey, MTS. Like, if you join the channel and don't say anything in chat, I have no idea because I can't follow who's just viewing. So feel free to say hi. It's very much appreciated because then I have a clue that someone's watching. Oh, hey, Joda, Hoda. I don't know exactly, but hey. So I'll just add stats, and to get stats, we need to call. So when we're starting the view, we might as well go overlay.get file stats, at least once, or maybe we don't. Maybe there's no point to that. Yeah, let's do it. Or no, yeah, for now, let's do it. Stats equals overlay.files get file stats. And it wants a directory, so we can do file.cwd. So this is current working directory. That should give us the stats stuff in this. We don't need any of these. Let's remove those. So when we start, it will get file stats. And we can actually see if we get anything fun out of those. So let's just div let's output those at stats. See if that does anything for us. See if not implemented for. That's fair. That's safe information. We want safe information here. And so you can see that, probably see that there's some noise, some black noise right on top of my editor. Let's just temporarily do color white. Yeah. And not the best display, but we're getting some information in there. Hey, Liban. Or Leban? Leban. Liban. Let's go with that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but going off of text here. So we're going to be needing to subscribe to the stats. So we do phoenix.pubsub.subscribe, and then we go overlay.pubsub because that's the instance, and then the topic is stats, I believe. We can check. It's in the file watch. Yeah, it's using the topic stats. So we'll get those. Actually, I should also check. So it sounds LOC stats, so that's line of code stats, and then it stands as stat structure. So we will get LOC stats as a message, and then the stats as a structure. And then we have the socket, because you always do in LiveView. And we go assign socket stats. So we set the stats on the socket. No, that's not how you do it. You do it this way. That means when we save a file in this project, even if it doesn't actually have any particular impact on the code, because when we're saving here, the code is by default reloading anyway, because Phoenix will tell the thing like, oh, he changed the code, please re-render. He needs to see what he's doing. But if I write foo to test.txt, which is not a file that matters to Phoenix, it might, no, it didn't pick it up. Okay, fair enough. Might be that git diff numstat actually only deals with the things that are, yeah, different in committed files. This is a little bit unfortunate, and maybe something we want to change later, see if we can pick up changes in new files as well. But for now, this will do. This will have to do. We might change it if we get there. But okay, so then let's see. I could change. Well, essentially, any file I change would lead to a reload, except sort of, well, a config won't lead to a reload because it can't handle that. So I could do foo. That should still lead to, yeah, added 2, removed 0. So yeah, that confirms the LiveView is live and working. So right now we're developing the LiveView and showing the result of the LiveView. In the future, if we like how this turns out, I might use it for future streams and just point it at the project we're working on the stream. And this would actually keep the stream nice and updated about what changes we've made and to what files, which I think could be neat. Okay, let's look at, so LiveView has a bunch of clauses that are good for showing what's happening with some slight not animation, but some additional stuff. I don't think we want this one, which is a progress bar at the top when we're updating. I don't think that fits for... Now it noticed I've change the dev ones. All right. Need to restart the server. Hope that Twitch will handle, or OBS will handle this gracefully. We'll see. We'll keep trying the way it should. Yeah, otherwise you can probably go in and refresh it, but we'll soon get to some good visual stuff. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there, it recovered. Sweet. Yeah, so maybe let's make this not suck so much. So this is a bunch of CSS I don't care about, but let's do body color white for now, just so all text will be visible. Don't have to have this anymore. And then I can just do class equals stats, or LOC stats maybe. Let's go with stats for now. Let's make do a for loop on, so this would be file path and added, removed, R. So that's pattern matching for those who aren't familiar. Let's do that. And we can start with just some divs. The semantics of the HTML matters a lot less here than they would for many different types of projects, because there's only me that's going to deal with this. And we can do span class plus, we can do plus equal a span minus so if I save this, oh, that's a little bit more orderly, I think. We should probably not have a plus sign before the minus, though. It seems counterintuitive. Oh, these ligatures really misbehaved there. There we go. Oh, that's nasty. Miscolored ligatures. Okay. But I don't think it should be positioned where it is, and honestly, I think there's still some overarching container stuff. Yeah. No, that one isn't used for this. Let's see, live, the main. Let's just head and body. I feel like it should be full width, but maybe there's something else. Like, oh, the Phoenix CSS. What does that do? Yeah, okay, it still adds all the milligram stuff. Let's let's remove that. Yeah, no styling, and still not out. I thought it would end up to the absolute left there, but that's not happening. Okay, let's do this, margin 0, padding 0, just a little bit of resetting. Font family, sans serif. So I'm gonna want to steal some stuff from my website, I think. So on my website, I use Space Grotesque, thanks to a designer that nicely figured out what I could be using, because I'm not great with fonts. I'm not bad with visuals, but fonts. There's a lot of stuff with fonts. Let's see if I can directly link them from Underyard. That would be sweet, actually. So currently, what you're not seeing is me viewing source on my own website to figure out how I can steal my own font. Oh, actually, we're elite coders. Let's just pull the code font I've been using on the site. See, that would be something to put in the root one. So, Fira code. This is just Google fonts stuff, so it's nothing too special. You can get them and you can serve them from something different than my website with great results. So, and let's see, I use Fira code. I just gotta look up an example where I'm using it so I can steal the CSS without needing to figure out the exact way I'm doing it. Stealing from yourself is the best kind of stealing. There we go. So for now, we do mono space with no ligatures. Is this gonna load? I'm a little bit curious. I can't honestly tell if that is Fira code or something else, but it looks mono space, so I think it's fine. Might need some sort of hinting or boldness because it's not super clear. Try it bold. Oh, that's a bit much. What's a weight of 300 look like? That's thin. 600, is that normal? 800. Yeah, 800 was probably better. There's probably a better way, sort of font in thing. Font synthesis, fonts. Oh dear. Yeah, let's not get into it. Fonts, they can take absolutely all of your time if you let them. So let's see, the stats block. So I want to be able to place things around this, around the video, anywhere I want. So I have maximized the browser to cover the whole thing. And then I can just use position absolute. So I should be able to throw this top 8 pixels or so, maybe 16 pixels, and right 16 pixels. Okay, I'm gonna have to put it further down. Yeah, so that doesn't seem like it's covering everything. I gotta see if there's something I can do to, say, stretch to screen. No, that doesn't look great. Transform, fit to screen. Can I tell it what size to be? Okay, yeah, it's set to be 800, 600. So I need 1680 by, oh, let's see, what are they? 1080, 1920, is that it? So I think I just fit it to 1080, which tells me I should crank the size. Font size to use. All right. We're getting somewhere. Do 64 pixels from the top. Yeah, that only works because it happens to be a short line up there. 98. Just about clears it. Let's do 100 flat. Did not notice a difference, but okay. 120. I hear space is important. So I wonder if it will look okay to align it to the left. Text align right. So, ooh, no, that's jagged and nasty. Don't like it. So I wonder what the best way of making this sort of uniform is. We could truncate the strings to a certain length from the strip from the side. Let's try that. We can just do that here. String dot. Let's see. Isn't there a truncate? String dot set. Slice probably or something. Return string from the offset given by the start of the range to the offset given by the end of the range. Words. So I should be able to do file path 0 to we'll go with sort of 16 or something. Oh, they want a range ideally. Wait, what? Oh yeah, throw some errors while processing. All right, now I think I have the issue of the gen server actually. So the thing that sends me the updates actually doesn't update to the new function. I'm not sure, at least. Doing that, yes, that does give me something that I can line up. But it's too short because it looks crappy. If I do recompile. Okay, it restarted the gen server at least. Doesn't restart the LiveView, which is a little bit annoying. But we should be able to just refresh that one by, let's see if we change something that actually changes something. So, don't know. Let's see, Elixir left pad was not something I expected to be typing today, but essentially that's what I want to do. I want to do padding, pad leading. Yeah, So if we do string.pad leading, we do, it would have to do integer to string. We can hold off on that. Let's start with this. Because these we can handle differently. The strings being different length is much more annoying. So we can do stats.plus and stat.stats.minus and tell them to be a width of 32 pixels or something. Oh, well, you have to spell width correctly for that to work. Have a chance of working. And we can also do, I wonder, display flex. What will that give me? Flexbox is interesting. Okay, that's stats.line. Display flex. I do want to separate these into lines, so I might as well do that in markup. Class equals line. Okay, scrunch them together. Not exactly what I had in mind, but hey. Margin left, 8 pixels. Start there. You always need more margin. Let me know if you have any questions around this stuff. I'm happy to try to explain what I'm doing beyond what I'm saying currently. But right now, it's mostly about getting some visuals correct. And as always, when dealing with Flexbox, I end up Googling for just how to make Flexbox behave in a particular way. So I want justified content. And I want it to do flex end. See, now that is more what akin to what I wanted. And now I just gotta track down some colors I want to use. So these are colors from a brand. So let's see, .stats, minus. Generally minus is a red color. So let's go with my pink. Stats plus usually a green color. So let's go with Mateel. And suddenly we've introduced a little bit of cyberspace into it. I'm going to restart this just to see if it adjusts the slicing size. I think it's showing the wrong one still. Oh, maybe it's not. Oh, right, it's slicing in the wrong direction as well. That's not what I intended, though. Let's see, I don't think I've tried to slice in reverse, but I'm sure it's, the function's probably in there. Yeah, okay, I just give them negative indices, so that would be minus 24 and minus 1 should take it from the verse order. Yeah, I think that's better. Or what do you guys think? Should I add so that it actually shows the whole file path? Right now, I think that would be fine, but it might be annoying in a stream where we have more stuff on the right-hand side up there. Gonna bring the full path back so we can consider whether we like it. Well, that is pretty good in some ways. There is a sort of cleverish thing you could do. So in Visual Studio Code, for example, if you have a bunch of files open, it will only show the file name, unless you open another file with the same file name, in which case it will prefix it with parts of the path. I don't think I have an example because I don't have any files named the same, but it's a pretty decent way of doing it because that keeps it disambiguated, but also keeps the file names very terse, which I think is good. We have some more people watching, but they aren't saying hi in the chat, so I don't know about it. All right. I wonder if we have a next step we want to do here. So we can do a fair bit of sort of adding special effects, or we could add logos. Hey, Jay Prier. Hey, Norland. So actually, I'm curious if there's a nice way in LiveView to apply an animation before a change. So I know in our app SCSS, there's these things that are sort of LiveView change indications and stuff. All right, let's break out a browser for docs here. So we have something where you guys can also see what I'm looking at. LiveView docs, and I will just hook that up to my thingy so you can see it. That's the one. So it's a little bit disorderly. I'll try to fix it. So now we have something that ends up being in conflict with our nice new thing. And our nice new thing will actually grow to eat that space if it can. So this is the tricky part, like figuring out a good layout where everything gets the right amount of space. It's almost like design is a hard job sometimes. All right, that will have to do for now. Let's see. So LiveView CSS Animation is what I'm going to look for. I know you can also do some of this with Tailwind, or with Alpine actually. So actually, what I would want to animate is probably when a new line is added. So when it shows up. Oh, I'm not sure how easy that is to add a CSS transition for. It might just be a CSS animation. Doesn't seem like what I want to do. I just want a simple type of animation. Animate dynamically created HTML elements. But they're adding classes. I don't want to add classes. I want to deal with, if there are classes, I'm happy to use those. Life cycle. So I know there's a bunch of stuff around JavaScript interop with LiveView. So DOM patching and temporary what now? All right. So these are client hooks. Not super keen on that. I wonder if LiveView adds any classes. I don't think it might not. Oh wait. Oh hey, marine cargo, or Michael. Oh hello. Thanks for showing up. We are doing some thrilling reading of the docs right now. All right. I know. Let's see. I know Claudio Ortolina has a neat little pulsing cursor at the top of his site, and I hope that's implemented with CSS only, because I want to steal it for this logo cursor. Not steal, it's steal that he's still gonna have it, so it's gonna be okay. But so that sort of thing looks neat, so let's try it. I want to add at the end of this stat line just a blinky cursor. None of this is very serious, so excuse me while I have fun. Hey, there we go. Sometimes I trip myself up with my vimming. Okay, so I've stolen the animation setup, but I haven't taken the actual animation, so none of it will work yet. He has two style sheets. Both are named style.css. Which one? Should have checked when I was looking at the cursor. My computer is so slow sometimes when streaming. That's very unfortunate. Okay, this style.css. Let's jump to it. And oh, there. Dear Chrome, you have so many things. Please remove some of the things. Jeebus. Let's take that and let's shove it in here. And then please do I have a CSS formatter? Format document. There's no formatter for plain text, but this is not plain text. Oh. Okay, I think we have something readable now, so let's go find cursor. There we go. There it is. It's fairly simple. I just don't know how to do animation at the in my head, because I only do it very rarely. Unfortunately, I like playing with animation. It's fun. Okay, so I think I need to switch to a website that is dark. Otherwise, we won't see a thing. So we've added stats.cursor, and that will use this animation, but I don't think we've made it actually a visible thing. So width 16 pixels, height 32, background color, take this one. And then I would like to float it right. I think floating is frowned upon these days, but yeah. Margin top 4 pixels. And I think we should size it down a little bit, probably. It looks a bit big, right? Not like it's the size that would typically do. No, so I think width was good. Let's see. Make it a little bit more squat. Not that squat. So now it looks like if I'm writing a new file, it will actually be, if I slightly modify my package.json, we added a new line. Yeah. All right. Something I would actually want is to have an animation whenever a number changes, so it does a little bit of a glitchity flip. Because I think glitchy flips look cool. You could do something similar to what this animation is, where, hold on, if I want to animate a new line as it shows up, I think that's just, could do animation cursor 1s, and then rather than infinite, what's the, let's see, Indian animation. Because I want to tell it to only run once. That would be what I want it to do. Yeah, okay. Just don't tell it to do infinite. So doing that, switching to something that actually works. So if I save this file, rather, let's add a line here, foo, and now I save. And my whole thing went explosions and warnings. I don't know why it did explosions and warnings. That seems unnecessary. Let's remove that line again and save. Okay, so it feels like it redrew the entire thing, which I don't think it needs to do. Suspicious. Actually, I wonder if this is one of those cases where it would help if they had IDs, so morph DOM can actually be smarter. That file path. And then we can try just adding a line here, saving. No, it blinks the entire thing. That's unfortunate. I don't think it should have to do that. So if you know this stuff well and have the solution, to let me know. Because I don't think LiveView should be re-rendering the whole thing, but it might be that morph.dom reinserts the entire element, in which case it makes sense that it would refresh all of the things. Because now I'm saving this app as CSS test. It's always the tricky bit. Why it no work? Let's do some foo. Yeah, it will blink the whole thing, which I think is a little bit overdoing it. Also, it blinks twice. Oh yeah, because this one does go from. Don't think I need WebKit keyframes. Pretty sure keyframes has been well supported for a bit. So keyframes, line blip, 0%, opacity 0. Let me know if the animation actually looks decent for you guys, or if it's all a choppy mess. Because if it's all a choppy mess, I probably don't want a lot of it. So let's do just a 100%, and then there's this thing. Do we want it to? Yeah, the animation fill mode, I believe, is where. How does it stop? So animation fill mode forwards, and then it will stay in that mode. Animation fill mode forwards. Change that one to line blip. It's not like we can see it right now, but hey. So I also, so rather than changing the opacity, I would like to do something like this. Oh. So I guess I could transition that one into not that one, but I would need an RGBA color for this one. I don't like converting hex to RGB. So leave on animating translate Y, so it will come sliding down, or rather sort of drop down inside its line. Is that your thinking? I think that might be a bit much for every update, but I'm not sure. If you have an example of the animation you're thinking of, happy to see it. So I'll do this. And then we could do, or rather, ignore the background color here. And at 0, it should be that. And at max, it can be that. Arguably, I could add something neat in between where it does a hoppity hop. But so now, if I change something, it will go bloop across the whole line. I think this is a fair start for an interactive sort of stream overlay. There's definitely more that can and should be done. I might want to integrate it with sort of the chat or with something like Telegram, or so I've done a few different tutorials on things that integrate nicely with LiveView. So my last blog post was finishing up the previous live stream. So we did membrane framework where we had, essentially we were listening to the microphone and trying to capture the messages about the audio level, and then sending those as messages to LiveView. And I finished making that work as a blog post and as a little piece of video too. So you can see that at underyour.io. And the same thing with the Telegram bot post I made. Like, you can integrate all of these things fairly. It's a bit bad to say that it's easy, but it's not as complicated as could be. It's easier than it is in many other languages. And then you can send those messages to LiveView, and it will happily render information about that. So maybe I will bring in some of Membrane into this project eventually and have sort of levels going for when I'm talking. It probably won't line, or it should line up to your audio as well fairly well. Yeah, so there's a bunch of these things you can do to integrate that kind of interactivity or that type of real-time liveness into applications when you're dealing with LiveView. I like where we went and this became as a first step, and I would like to do more sort of neat stream tooling, because I think that's always a fun thing. I like building tools for tools. But yeah, I haven't nailed down exactly what I want to be doing on the next one. So if you have thoughts or desires around that, do let me know. And let's actually do a commit and see if it just clears all of this stuff. We remove test.txt. Yeah, we need to add assets and we need to add lib. Implement LLC stats on live stream. Did it just clear out some of the changes? I guess. Let's see if this wakes it up. No, it doesn't. So, but I bet if I do this, boom, gone. Yeah, it's just which files it's watching and stuff. I can probably tell it to watch for created files as well. I haven't done so. All right, that will have to be it for now. I need to go talk to some people on the internet that are not you guys. But thanks for tuning in. And if you don't follow my newsletter, that's probably the best way to keep track of what I do. So underjord.io, that's spelled like the logo up there in the corner, and .io. So have a good Friday, have a good weekend. Always nice to do these live streams. I really enjoy them, and I will keep doing them. Seems like that. All right, have a good weekend. Take care.